Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Seven Stones podcast, Partners in Growth. We like to cover a broad range of topics, including business, real estate, legal advice, people of Indonesia, and many more. In this episode, we're going to be getting into the details of the legal department in Seven Stones Indonesia. What does it look like to work as a legal advisor? What does it take to be able to call yourself one? And other legal-related questions within Indonesia we'll answer in this episode. Here with me today is two of our legal advisors, Nino and Marcella. Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
So they'll be the ones answering your questions and kind of giving you more detail on the legal department in Seven Stones Indonesia. Before we get started, why don't you both give a little bit of background as to who you are and what you do and how long you've been working in Seven Stones Indonesia?
Okay. Hi everyone. My name is Nino Saununo. I am a legal advisor at Seven Stones since 2019. So a little background of myself is I am a
Where are you from?
okay. I'm from Ambon actually, but most people won't believe that I'm an Ambonese. But I'm from Ambon, and then most of my life is I spent in Jakarta, and now I'm here because I don't really feel comfortable with Jakarta. That's why I moved here, and then now I am with Seven Stones as one of a legal advisor team since 2019.
Did you always have a background in legal or you kind of moved into it?
Oh yeah, actually I'm a law graduate, but after my graduation, I work as a marketing. I'm work as a marketing for almost 5 years, and then my latest position is a brand manager at Quicksilver Indonesia, and then I took off from the company because I have some things that brought my attention to become to be focused on the legal things that actually where I graduated from. So that's explain a bit about why I choose to become a legal advisor up to now.
Nice. And what about you, Marcella?
I'm Marcella. I joined Seven Stones Indonesia legal team just this year. My background was actually not in a law department, but I got, I don't know what happened. It's just like it's intriguing for me actually. So, and I grew up in a family who's actually, my dad was a lawyer and everybody was a lawyer in my family. So I was like, why not? Mm-hmm. And then luckily, Seven Stones gave me the opportunity. So I've been joining them just this year.
Nice. Okay, so how that kind of both already got into how you both got into legal advice, but I guess what I was interested in is how in Indonesia do you actually get certified for your kind of work? Is it the same where you go through law school and then you go through another school and then you work at a company, or is there a specific unique way in Indonesia to get your kind of certification?
Okay. If judging for my case, first I will have to go to law school, and then once graduate from law school, if I want to become a certified legal advisor, means that there are certain options. Means that you can choose either become a notary or lawyer, and in my case, I choose to become a lawyer. Means that I will have to go to the next step of a process. Means that I took a special education to get the lawyer certificate. Then based on that, I can be qualified as a legal advisor plus a certified lawyer.
Okay, so there's a specific requirement even
Yep,
within
sure.
the law
Yeah.
degree itself.
Yeah.
Okay, and how did both of you kind of move to Bali, and why did you choose to work and stay here?
As for me, Bali has always been home. I moved back to Bali in 2019. I was staying in Singapore before that. But then seeing like okay, from lifestyle, I mean, the environment and everything, Singapore is nice, but then it's not home. So I've always have the desire to always coming back home. So this is why I moved back last year, and well, I don't want to leave ever since.
Yeah, I have a same one, not same experience, but the same story with Marcella in this case. Uh, Bali is always a home for me because at my first visitation in Bali, just for holiday, but back at the time, I took opportunity to get an interview. I got the first job, and then I stay in Bali since then. And I only got back to Jakarta to complete my lawyer certificate. And then after I got all the certification, I returned to Bali. So Bali is my home as well. So that's it for me.
Nice.
Thank
Super
you.
nice. So, what is your job like? I mean, on a day-to-day basis, for example, in Seven Stones Indonesia, what daily tasks do you have to do? Or, for example, you walk into the office at 9 in the morning. What's your first to-do list, and that kind of stuff? What does it consist of generally?
Uh, for me, well, I'm specializing in setting up a company, actually for foreign and for local. So first thing first, once we get first thing first, once we get to the office, we'll be following up like what the client would need to actually setting up a PTPMA or PTPMDN. There's a lot of requirements, a lot of like paperwork that you need to actually gather up to actually setting up a company. So we provide an advice, legal consultancy, and then we also follow up through step by step. What does it take to actually set up your own company in Indonesia? So this is where my day begins, and well, usually ends up the same way.
Yes, actually, our daily activity is the same because we work at the same department, and then we do pretty much the same. The only different maybe on the specialization. Sorry for my accent. And then,
It's
oh,
okay.
and then because apart from setting up a company. Yeah, we also provide other service like dealing with visa application, and also we provide service to providing legal consulting in general, and also providing the contract drafting. So um, as a legal advisor, what we do in the early in the morning is to check our schedule that we already planned the day before, and then we move from there. So for sure, that based on our schedule, we in a day we can have like one or two appointment with clients, and yes, the topic will be depend on the client that we are agreed to or made the appointments. So every day is a new day for us because the case would be different, the client would be different, and for us we keep improving on the daily basis. For me, this daily activity itself has made this job for me interesting. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, so just to recap, Marcella, you specialized in business setup and those licenses and agreements and everything. And,
Yes,
Yeah.
correct.
you do the same thing, but you also offer kind of visas for
Visa.
people wanting to work or to enter here, and general legal advice and
Advice,
consulting and
contract drafting
agreements.
agreement.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, is there anything that's kind of different or unique or special about working in Seven Stones Indonesia?
Okay, let me answer that question. It's very very. Uh, the reason why I would like working here because uh, the working environment. And in with Seven Stones, I found something. It's not something, but um, the big difference between working with the other company because of when I work with the Quicksilver, for example, this is a foreign investment company. The the working environment is totally different than this place.
What
It's
makes a difference?
the difference is the management, the way the higher management or top management manage the staff is totally different. The way they give us opportunity to to explore our potentiality, or to explore or whatever that we bring into the table. It's I think it makes different than the other place. We are given a freedom to explore, to explore and to express ourselves. But then again, we are still under the what is it? We are still under the guidance.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Then and yes, that makes different. Than in the end, they don't try to dictate us. I'm talking about the management here. They don't try to dictate us how to deal with our job, but they just guide us and then let us to deal with all the whatever comes up in the way when we do the job.
So you kind of had a lot of personal freedom to
Yes, that's it. That's it.
accomplish.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Have you felt the same things, or maybe anything else you'd like to add on that side?
Well, pretty much what Pak Nino said is how it is. So I think I should, I gotta agree on that one with him.
Nice.
The energy that we can share together, the positive
Yes.
energy. Yeah.
Nice. And what are some of the most difficult challenges you face in your line of work?
Well, the challenges, with the new law just being legalized and
Yeah,
everything,
yeah.
and we don't know for sure when the transition from the old law to the new law is going to be applied, systematically. So this is really giving like a lot of confusion with the clients, because they would like to know about taxation, about like the manpower and everything, while we can't deliver, or we can't give them a reliable information, only because we don't have one yet. That, and then actually Indonesian regulation are complex yet simple. I mean, if you understand the language, of course. So I mean, the challenge is to get especially the foreigner, get them to understand the way we would understand it. So it's another level of explaining, and you need to sit down with them, have a meeting, and then explain it one by one, and then it takes patience, time, and but it is how it is, and we just gotta do better in explaining, so there won't be any problem in the future.
Just going off on that, what you said about complex but simple, do you have maybe an example of what you mean by a certain specific law being complex yet actually quite simple?
Like for example, like if you set up a PTPMA, like you have to commit to actually this much capital, like in the beginning. A lot of foreigners don't understand what that actually means. They said, oh, you have to have a paid up capital of 2.5 billion. Well, it was actually the 25% of a 10 billion that you will have to commit. It doesn't have that you have to get that much money in the beginning of the business. It's just that they would like to see if your cash flow within 2 years can achieve that 2.5 billion that you committed in the first place. So, well, when they put it on the paper, like, okay, you have to have a paid up capital 2.5 billion, like, of course, automatically people will think, oh my god, like I have to have that much of money to actually start a company in Indonesia. But actually it's not. So when you can explain to them, better, in a better ways, like it's actually simple, like, but when you just read it, this is why, like, for a foreigner to read the regulation, they would be like, oh my god, such a complicated ways to actually, start up a company.
Yeah.
But that's why we're here, to explain them better, so they get a better understanding on what it actually is.
And do you face any of the similar challenges as well with that sense?
Yes, actually, yes. To add it up, sometimes, not sometimes, most of the time, clients who come to us, they already did their research on that subject or on that case, and then most of the time they got wrong information or incorrect information from the other parts, and they come to us. When they come to us, the way I explain things is in this as simpler as can be, as I can deliver to the client. So when they found out that the explain is very, very simple to how to set up their company, their own company, and how to run the business, and then they will apart from get understanding of what exactly they need to start a business, they will also do another check because and then in the end they will get back to us, and then they will confirm that yes, your explanation is the one that we need, and that's when they decided to use our service. So I'm trying to put it in a simple way that actually most of our client is not the one that know nothing about the regulation in Indonesia, but they have too many information that they don't know how to screen that up or how to process the information.
Yeah.
That's why when they come to us and then they get the right information on that, and then and
So they get all this information they do from the research themselves, and you confirm which one is actually true,
Yes.
right? And that's how they come back
Yes,
and trust to do business.
yeah.
Is it the same with visa things as well and
Yes.
contracts?
Most of the things that about our service, yes, it covered most of the things.
Do you have any challenges with clients specifically as well, or is it just with the regulations themselves? Like I know sometimes clients can be a little
Yeah, yeah.
difficult or demanding. Does that ever come up in your work?
Yeah, not very often, but then yeah, we have some clients that because they have too much information on their head when they come to visit us, and they tend to argue on what they believe that it's true, something. Then that's takes lots of energy for us to explain the situation. So, but it's for me, it's not an issue because I have some of customer service background, so I can handle the things. So all of our legal advisor in Seven Stones, we have been, have been trained how to deal with the situation. That's why, yeah, it's not an issue for us. It just make our life is more interesting.
So how would you usually deal with difficult moments like that? Like if I was a client and I'm telling you, no, this is not what I was told, this is what I believe, and yada, yada, yada. How would you kind of, process that and tell them, okay, I understand, this is how we do it?
First, just put yourself like you just become a person who want to listen to everything that they will bring into the table. So just listen to them, and then when you get a chance to give them explanation at least let them to finish whatever they have in mind. So when you come up with your solution or your response to their reaction, then must be it must be something that they need. So instead of saying that, oh yes, I'm right, but then yeah, you're right, but then can I make it, well, can I put it in the right way that both of us can understand the situation? So that's how we do it.
So you compromise kind of based on
Compromise, but it's still based on the regulation.
Yeah.
What because we are in the legal business, legal service business. We cannot promise something that we cannot provide or we cannot achieve. That's why I would say that yes, compromise but still rely on the rules and regulation. That's my words. I don't know how Marcella can conclude this, but I think we are on the same way about this way.
Well, but the difficult clients, you mean, well, yes, sometimes you do get one or two, or too many. But this is how the business goes. And that's why in this line of work, as a legal advisors, we need to be well prepared.
Yep.
We need to know what we have to know our plot, like based on the regulation, and also based on, because sometimes we have a client coming in and then will ask us a lot of questions, and then it will be mostly based on, oh, my other friends who has a company say this, my other friends
Yes.
who has this company says that.
Indeed.
And well, anybody can say anything, but
Yeah.
then as for us, we need to give them a reliable information
Yep.
based on the
Agreed.
regulation, updated regulation, because sometimes it changes, especially with the visa or things like that. So we need to be ready, prepared. Sit with them, ask them like, okay, fire away. What do you need? What I can provide? But then it's not that difficult actually.
Yes.
Once you know your plot, you're prepared for what's coming. I think everything's just gonna be fine.
It's kind of fun, you know.
Well, yeah, it is.
Yeah,
Sometimes.
while we're talking about the fun side of it, what are some of the things you love about your job?
It's challenging.
Challenging.
Yeah.
For me, when our clients, yes, when our client feels satisfied about our service and they become our existing client, I mean, yeah, we will keep,
Long-term,
yeah, long-term
yeah.
clients, yeah, and that's me. That's the one that I really really like because it shows that we just don't do whatever we can provide, but we can do extra mile to provide our service. So, yes.
So the fact that it's challenging, and when you see clients come back long term and that your work is actually doing them good,
Yeah,
that's what you love about
Yeah.
doing this work.
because in the end they will become not just client but friend in, yeah, and then
Partners in growth.
yeah, partners in growth in line with our
Yeah.
motto.
So with that, we've kind of already gotten into the pros and cons of legal work in Indonesia, but do you have anything you want to add on that aspect?
Well, if you an advice for everyone out there who needs a legal consultant or about to do business. I mean, in my line of specification, in my line of work, like don't assume. This is one, and two. When you don't know, you just ask,
Yeah.
because everything regarding the rules and regulation might seem, how to say it in English, like sepele. It's not a big thing for them, but in the long run, it could be something serious. So
Serious.
we are here to help. All you need to do is, one phone away, one call away, or one email away, and we can set up a meeting, sit down, and do things right from the very beginning. And we are here to help.
So speaking about advice and clients, do you have any kind of common questions you get from clients coming in, or what are some of the things they ask?
Okay, they usually ask this question, like, how do I do this? How long and how much it costs? This is the general question asked. These three questions. Firstly, if they, for example, they want to have a KITAS or a visa, they would ask, okay, how do I get this? What paperwork should I, bring in, or should I prepare it with? Second of all, they will ask, how long will it take to actually have one, the breakdown. And then the third one, how much it costs. I mean, they like to have a comparison to the other places. So, well, these three questions, we always have to be prepared for the answers,
Yes.
because these three are the ones that usually come out in the very beginning of the meeting, any meeting, whatever the client needs.
Yeah, maybe because this the one that they already set up their mind on that three subjects, so that's why we must be prepared on that things. Otherwise, yeah.
And then I assume other questions would be unique to a client and what their requirement is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Different client, different needs.
Yeah.
And well, we just need to listen and see how we can help.
And speaking of clients, how do you handle working with expats versus locals? And is there a difference, or how do you adapt to both?
I think it would be the same because we apply the same standard to our client, either foreign or locals. The only difference is the outcome. It's related to how we treat them. So to
I
be
meant,
honest,
I meant mostly based on regulations. I assume it'd be different requirements for an expat coming in to set up a business
Yeah,
versus
sure.
a local.
Yeah, sure. And then I'm talking about the client perspective when they come to us, and then we prepare to respond to them, to their requests based on their background. So for sure, for the information about how to get it done, I mean to help them out, we already prepared. But then again, the most challenging is with foreigner, because most of our clients, they come here, they are well prepared. Sometimes they knew things, then we haven't get into the details of the things that they want to check. For these things, Marcella always find the best way to solve this.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you got a question, for example, which you're not ready to answer, or
Yeah.
if I'm not 100% confident with the answer that I'm gonna give, I would say I'll get back to you. Let me
That's
get
it.
the a better information
Yeah.
from the reliable source to actually provide you with the right answer, because we have to be really careful.
Yeah.
Like we can't say something. How to
Yeah.
say? We can't make a mistake in
Yeah.
that part
Because
You
it's
know,
legal work,
Legal.
right?
because it's
Yeah.
real work.
Yeah.
So either you back off, and then tell them that you need some time to
Sometimes
actually
yeah.
get to know things better and get back to them, or well, if you know the answer, it's not going to be a problem.
Yes, sure.
It's just to prevent misinformation to the client.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
what we actually avoid in this in this
Industry.
business.
Yeah.
It's pretty dangerous,
Especially to those who actively involved in our group, legal Indonesian law and regulation. They have so many information that sometimes they just bring that up in one time. And for us, we still need to clarify to verify if this information is correct and if this is in line with the updated regulation. That's makes it.
So this, what you're talking about, Indonesian law and regulations, is a Facebook group, right?
Yeah.
That you're an admin in, or you just put information in there?
I'm one of the moderators, so
Oh,
not
nice.
an admin.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's up to date information
Yes.
on law and regulations.
Yeah, sure.
In Indonesia.
We have.
Has there been any moment of great frustration that sticks out to you, and how did you solve it, or if it's ongoing, how are you working to solve it?
Well, not much of it actually. It's just some depression that we get. It's basically okay. For example, just it's a daily kind of stuff. We also help people to get visa, right? Visa, kitas, and everything. Everything is online, and we are really relying on the system.
Yeah, indeed.
For example, I would tell a client that I can get the visa done in 5 to 7 working days. And all of a sudden, the system just, unstable. And then this kind of like unusual, how to
Out
say?
of control.
Yes.
Yeah,
out
this
of
is out of
control.
our hands. Only this, I would hope that Indonesian system in anything could be better, like very soon, because of course with the omnibus law legalized a few weeks ago, things
Easier.
were supposed to be easier.
Yeah.
So I'm really looking forward to it, because as for now we have a lot of problem with the system. I mean, not within the team. It's just like sometimes you can't really deliver what you promised, simply because the system is not really our system is pretty weak. I mean, it's not strong enough, not stable enough.
As the Indonesian legal system,
Yes.
right? Not an internal.
Yes. No.
thing, yeah.
Internal's all good.
Yeah.
Specifically, we are talking about the system here, online system, since we are implementing the e-visa. So according to the according to the announcement or circular by the Ministry of Law,
Circular letter, yeah.
the circular letter, that the process will take like 7 days. Now we are facing the system problem, so it takes longer. It takes longer than what we promised to client. That's that's the thing
So that's
that
just what's most frustrating, is that
Yeah.
Yeah.
things out of your control
Yeah.
is affecting the promises you've made to
Yeah.
clients.
Yeah, because in general, like you have the timeline, like time frame, like how when to get A done, B done, C done, and then, well, when things just gotten out of hand, like there's really nothing you can do about it. But I'm not gonna say blame the system, but maybe our system is just not ready yet. Not SSI system, the
Yeah.
The Indonesian
government
system.
system.
And you mentioned that with this new omnibus law, everything's kind of in a transition state right now, right?
Yes,
Yes.
And you're not sure when that'll be for sure.
Yeah,
changed.
well,
We
it's a
do
big
expect-
transition, yeah?
yeah.
It's a really big thing. Like the transition could take months, I think.
And the
Months
word
to 3
omnibus
months.
itself is huge, right? It covers everything.
Yeah,
Sure.
So, do you think, while we're speaking of the omnibus law, going back to regulations in Indonesia, does the unique regulations we have make it easier or more difficult, or just a little bit different?
Well, I would say not a bit different. It's kind of different, not a little bit. Like they changes few stuff, and of course it's gonna make things easier for foreign investor to actually invest in the country. Like before, you need to deal with the oh my god, like I can't even start. I don't know where to start with that.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it's very complicated. It's very complex. Like so, with the omnibus law being legalized, of course it will be much easier. Like everything will be one stop service.
Service solution.
So yeah, I think it will be no, not I think. I'm sure it's gonna be way easier.
Does
now.
it have a direct effect on your work? And do you have any strong opinions about it?
Well, as for now, not yet.
No, and in the future, no, because the thing is, our clients still need our advice, our guidance in how to deal with these things, right? So, actually, this omnibus law or the other uh, newest law that that is brought by our government, they will help us to make our job more easier than before. So that's what I can say about about the effect of this regulation to our jobs. So it will make things easier. Yeah, for sure.
So going back to you kind of went into advice before, but has there been a great advice that was given to you that you kind of stick to today?
You mean as an individual?
Individual or as a legal advisor, either one.
Okay. Maybe Marcela can answer that first.
Well, that's a big one.
Yeah, sure. That's why.
I don't know. Be prepared or go home, I think.
No, I won't say that it is kind of advice or whatever, but what I can take from quote from a very famous person is it's a Winston Churchill. He said that whenever you're going through hell, keep going. That's one of a quote that inspire me all the time. So
You're already there, might as well keep going.
yes, because I cannot stop just because of something happened in the way so that's if I can say that, that's the inspiration that always in my mind when I do my things. When I
You had something that just came into your
No,
mind.
I just realized that what I said might come out so wrong. Like be prepared or go home. I mean, it's for me. Like I'd rather be well prepared. Otherwise, I'll just go home.
Yeah.
It's not for the client. That sounds so wrong.
Well,
I just realized that I'm like,
there
oh
is
no.
anyway. Maybe I can
Yeah,
copy and
yeah.
paste from you.
It's
So
it's
yeah,
advice for you.
Yeah.
But while you mentioned that, what is the advice you would give to someone else?
someone else. Okay. Let me
What
Okay, let's start with me. I think the best advice for me is when I deal with client and I already provide all the information they need, then they still look like they haven't made their mind up yet. Then I said, okay, please, you may check with the other legal advisor, and if you think that you can come back with. The result is most of the clients I advise the things they will they will come back to me, and then yes, you are right. I think that's it for me.
Okay, I think I can add up one. A good advice is an Indonesian wise man says once, like malu bertanya, sesat di jalan. So if you're shy to ask, you'll get lost. So for the clients out there, I mean, ask. Fire away, ask anything.
Encourage them to.
No,
Yeah.
no question is the wrong question. Right?
Exactly. Yes.
Okay, that's all I have for today. Do you guys have any other comments you'd like to throw in, or
Well, I think
last,
for now
last
that's
thoughts?
it.
We thanking you for inviting us. That's it, because to put all of this thing in a simple conversation, it's not that easy for us, and also maybe for you, because we are talking about the legal things and then what we do. But we are thanking you for.
Yeah, thank you
Yes,
both so much for
Thank
joining me
you.
today.
You're welcome.
And also for all you listeners out there, thank you for tuning in. And if you're still confused and want to ask more, you can reach Nino and Marcella at
legal at sevenstonesindonesia.com.
nice.
That's
Perfect.
our
So that's the email, the official email
yes,
for
that's
legal.
our email.
Thank you so much
Welcome.
again, and thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
listeners, for joining us on this episode of the Seven Stones podcast. If you have any other inquiries regarding real estate, tourism, legal advice, business, and marketing, don't forget you can reach us through our website, sevenstonesindonesia.com, or directly send us an email at hello@sevenstonesindonesia.com. If that's not for you, we're also available to answer your questions through Instagram and LinkedIn. Let us know what kind of conversations you'd like to listen to on the Seven Stones podcast, and we look forward to seeing you in our next episode.